It is always a massive game when Unai Emery rocks up at the Emirates Stadium, the last team to beat Arsenal at this very stadium in the league last season, which dented their title hopes, with now Villa rocking up at the Emirates. Both teams coming into this game in really good form. There has been an early shuffle there in terms of team news. William Saliba has missed out, which is a massive miss for Arsenal. The same can go say for Aston Villa as well, as both their centre halves missing. Diego Carlos and, more importantly, Pau Torres, who has been instrumental for Aston Villa and Unai Emery. Emery, whenever he rocks up away at a big club, he knows how to set up his team. Defensively, he's got a very interesting setup. We'll go through the team news very shortly. And what I think gives Aston Villa the edge here is their bench. They got John Duran, Leon Bailey, and new signing Daniel Malen, all three available on the bench. And conversely, if you look at Arsenal's bench, it looks very thin in the attacking areas. Only Raheem Sterling, the recognized forward for Arsenal to bring on. So they have to do the job with the first 11 here. As for Aston Villa, they look to just soak it up. You know their style. You've seen Unai Emery put in that blueprint. Every time he goes to Arsenal, he's gotten the better of Arteta so many times, and in crucial moments. It's been a very charged start here from Arsenal, looking to get onto the front foot. Trossard hits it against Matty Cash, and it's a corner for Arsenal. In over 90 seconds of action, and Arsenal immediately on the front foot. We've seen this avenue work time and time and time again for Arsenal. Declan Rice with that right foot, he swings it right over the keeper's shoulder. That fast stick is going to be attacked for sure. The big boys from the back are there. And Aston Villa have an early set piece to do. And this will set the tone for both teams in terms of set pieces. If Arsenal get an early shot, an early chance, it just gives them the confidence. There will be a mismatch in terms of height. Gabriel, Timber, Kai Havertz, all massive units. As for Aston Villa, the centre halves will have to do a lot of their work here. Declan Rice swings it in towards the far stick, and it's Martinelli with the header, and Cash will clear. Early warning sign there, just a peel-off run at the far stick. It's good defensive work by Aston Villa, and Raya just hammers it back. That is an outstanding pass, and what a take that is from Declan Rice. Just like that, Arsenal up the pitch, 70 yards. Here's Rice with the ball towards the far stick. It's Martinelli on the stretch. It's a big save there by Martinez. And Arsenal on the front foot here. It all comes from David Raya's brilliant ball there. Look at this for a first touch from Declan Rice. And then towards the far stick. He wanted to do that in the corner as well. This perfectly executed fast stick cross. And Martinelli on the stretch with a shot on target. And just the start that Arsenal and Arteta were looking for here. Big save there by Martinez. Always plays against Arsenal with a point to prove, regardless of the number of times he's proved the point. Formerly in the Arsenal books for 6 or 7 years. Maybe a loan spell at Reading. Never really got an opportunity. Won the FA Cup though. Soon after, moved to Aston Villa for £20 million at that time. Arsenal thought they were getting a snip. Aston Villa knew exactly what they were getting. Since then, Emi Martinez's career trajectory has just been skyrocketed. I mean, he wins all the awards, maybe a bit of PR in that, but he seems to be winning all the international trophies domestically with Aston Villa in the Champions League. Now looking to try and just claw their way back in the league. They had a very difficult start in terms of juggling the Champions League campaign with the Premier League. They did very well in the Champions League to qualify for the playoffs, the next round rather. Don't have to go through the playoffs. Did really well, beating Bayern Munich. That's a good ball there by Partey, trying to find Gabriel Martinelli, who's playing on that right-hand side, trying to replace Saka there. Martinelli's production on that left-hand side just dipping, but now starting to find that goal-scoring touch, which had deserted him for the longest time. Same could be said about his Brazilian compatriot, Gabriel Jesus, who unfortunately picked up that ACL rupture against Crystal Palace the last game? Might have just got that wrong. But that was a damaging one for Arsenal. Saw that save for Emi Martinez, and here's Kai Havertz. So against Manchester United in the Cup, and that's a good ball again. The fast stick has been a real weapon here. It's the first time you're seeing Odegaard with the ball to his feet on the right-hand side. Here's Declan Rice, cross into the box. What a near-post defensive header that is. Tyrone Mings. That is a good read there from the centre half, and it's Declan Rice who's getting into advanced positions and putting in some quite brilliant deliveries here. Look at that. Needed someone to make that near stick run, but Tyrone Mings reads that very well. Just over 5 minutes on the clock. It's been all Arsenal so far. Aston Villa have done well to keep Arsenal away from danger. Another corner now. Arteta will be happy with the start so far. Odegaard, ball into the box. It's a good defensive header by Amadou Onana. His height and frame coming in to rescue for Aston Villa. He's a massive unit. Amadou Onana, 6'5" Belgian midfielder. Very shrewd acquisition from Everton. He's slotted in very nicely in the team. Adds a lot of various facets in the midfield area. Here's Mikel Merino. Lewis Kelly, who's so impressive. I mean, his integration into the team has been just seamless. For an 18-year-old, the way he's built, I mean, you have grown men just bouncing off the frame of an 18-year-old boy. I mean, it's incredible what his ceiling could be, Miles Lewis Kelly. Here's Odegaard. Easily headed away there by Matty Cash. Another Onana header. Again, no surprises there. Towering all over him. Here's Martinelli. Tried to give himself a yard against Ian Maatsen. Here's Martinelli. Good defending there by Ian Maatsen. Staying touch tight there. And it's Odegaard who came off second best with that aerial duel against his fellow number 8 there. I think it was against Onana. There's complete mismatch there. Amadou Onana all over the Norwegian. No foul there, but he'll have to pick himself up. Arsenal with their third corner already, and this has just been relentless pressure. Arteta will be happy with the start. Unai Emery will be just watchful. He knows the longer this stays 0-0, more chances that Aston Villa have, but they have to navigate this early pressure that Arsenal are just throwing at them. You see nothing of the Villa midfield so far on the ball. Teilemans, Kamara, or Onana. Ball into the box. Oh, it's a big, good defensive header. I think that's Ezri Konsa. The Villa defenders, the centre-halves in particular, are getting their head to the ball first. That's good from a Villa perspective, but Arsenal are relentless with their corners. The deliveries are spot on every time. There's one aspect that I would borrow from Arsenal into my Chelsea side would be the set-piece deliveries. Just brilliant. Just put it in such a dangerous area. It's a mix of zone, trying to be man-to-man with Gabriel. It's Konsa with Gabriel trying to create a nuisance. Gabriel will make that run towards the fast stick, unmarked completely. It's Gabriel with the header. Partey from nearest post. Oh my goodness me, what a chance. Gabriel's movement in the box, you know he's going to go to the fast stick, but it's so difficult to pick him out. He heads it across the face of goal, and Thomas Partey, there's a few bodies in front of him. It's a difficult effort. I think it might have just hit Martinez on the way over, and from his reaction, you can say that he did make the save, and Martinez and Havertz were tussling in the box. Whether or not there would have been a foul and maybe Partey's hand affecting the play there, but Arsenal are such a menace with their corners. It's Gabriel with the runner. As soon as the ball is coming into the box, you just know that Gabriel is going to make that run to the fast stick. It's just how he runs his route. Now, it's the stutter run up and then he darts, or he directly runs. It is so difficult to pick up. It is almost NFL wide receiver types. If you've ever seen the American football and a wide receiver play that position, you almost have to recognize that as a winger in Premier League terms. But the way that Gabriel runs from a start-stop position, because a lot of play in NFL is through set pieces where the quarterback has the ball and then he flings it from a standstill position. This is very similar. This is route running by Gabriel Magalhaes. It is unbelievable. Havertz surely offside. Yep, there's a thumbs up there for Kai Havertz. Havertz needs a goal. I mean, I would not be cheering for that, but from an Arsenal perspective, Kai Havertz, he has missed some glaring opportunities in big, big games, and it has costed Arsenal. Make no mistake about it. There's a lot of good thing. Oh, that's a brilliant touch there by Ollie Watkins. Wow. First time gets Jacob Ramsey on the ball. This is much better from Aston Villa, trying to get their forward players involved. Here's Yuri Tielemans playing in a very strange position there. Whether or not it's just temporarily, because you can see him on that right-hand side. Almost see John McGinn play there for Aston Villa, but the injury to the Aston Villa skipper has forced Unai Emery to shuffle things around the pack. He's gone with the two narrow forwards in Morgan Rogers and Jacob Ramsey, both similar players. But the way, I think before Morgan Rogers exploded into the Aston Villa side, I thought that Jacob Ramsey had a similar trajectory, but just, I think, hit a plateau. Here's Aston Villa, the first real threatening opportunity themselves, but Arsenal clear, not beating them in their own games here in their set piece. But Villa go back, and over 10 minutes on the clock. Villa with a few nervy moments, few hairy moments set piece wise. But in open play, it's been very tight, very tense. Both detail-oriented managers in Unai Emery and Mikel Arteta. A lot of history between the two. Unai Emery beating Arteta, and oh, that's surely a foul there. But Ramsey continues. Here's Ian Maatsen from Chelsea. Ball into the box. Good header there by Gabriel. Oh, ball spoons up across goal, and it's aimless there. It's not with composure which was needed in front of goal. I think that was Jacob Ramsey on that left-hand side. He was unmarked in a lot of space after Gabriel couldn't clear. Here's Maatsen now. Declan Rice, very good. Ian Maatsen, what a save that is from David Raya. Close range. Ian Maatsen hit that with real force. This is much better here from Aston Villa. Now growing into the game, the clear-cut opportunity after absorbing all the pressure going to Aston Villa, and the left-back Ian Maatsen. Rodgers won't be able to keep that in play, and the game is suddenly exploded into life. David Raya with a big, big save. Bit of fortune involved in that, because Ian Maatsen was looking to play a 1-2, took a ricochet off Declan Rice, and when it arrived to him, hits that first time. And the summer acquisition from Chelsea, nearly giving Aston Villa the lead against Chelsea's London rivals. Here's Kamara. Onana. Mings with a good line breaker. This is very good combination play, and going for the quick switch there to Ollie Watkins. And I think that's Urian Timber who makes the interception. Just trying to adjust my eyes to Urian Timber playing as a natural centre half here in the absence of William Saliba. Thomas Partey, of course, as right back, and Miles Lewis-Kelly inverting as the left back into midfield along with Declan Rice. You can see Merino almost playing in that left-hand side, higher half space, and Odegaard doing the same on the right. Both wingers trying to hold the width. I think Martinelli is a lot more suited than Trossard. You'll see Trossard, like we're seeing right now, as soon as he gets the ball, will want to drift into midfield. So it's another body that will be added. Just gives that option for Arsenal to switch it onto the right-hand side, where Gabriel Martinelli, more touchline hugging winger, will find a lot more opportunities with the play compressed into midfield. Here's Thomas Partey. Merino switches it out to Lewis-Kelly. Again, look at the Villa shape. They are so compact. Here's Gabriel Magalhaes. Trossard, clip ball towards Havertz, or it was Martinelli rather, and Konza easily clears. Teilemans under pressure. Arsenal swarming in midfield there. It's been a great tempo this game. We fully expected that. And with 15 minutes on the clock, Arsenal doing a lot of the prodding and probing. Aston Villa have created the clear-cut opportunity with Ian Maatsen. It's a good save there by Raya, but it was straight at him, hit with a lot of force. Here's Trossard against Cash. Trossard. Can a ball floated into the box? Konza having no issues. Thomas Partey looking to recycle. It's good press resistance shown there by Jacob Ramsey. He's keeping the ball in tight spaces. Martinez. Again looking for the clip pass. Watkins is going to have a battle then. Wins the header against Gabriel. Not an easy task. That's a very clever pass there by Teilemans. Combines with Kamara. Aston Villa looking a lot more confident on the ball, especially in midfield and in those tight spaces. That is something that will worry Arteta, because if Aston Villa can stitch those passes in those midfield area, bypass the Arsenal midfield, they're in business there. And they continue doing that in the second half with pace off the bench. Aston Villa have a lot of weapons against Arsenal. It's critical for Arsenal to navigate this first half. Oh, Onana just rolls Odegaard with ease there. A physical mismatch. We've seen that duel before. Onana getting the better of Odegaard. Here's Maatsen up against Timber. Maatsen, it's a weak cross. Timber with the defensive duel there. Timber having no issues defending those wide areas. So as a centre-back, it's almost like a cheat code when your centre-half is able to defend those wide areas. So you might see even Thomas Partey inverting at some point with Gabriel maybe playing as that lone centre forward. Gives Arsenal a lot of options. So centre back rather, centre forward. And the way he scores goals, very much capable. I think he's the second highest scorer for Arsenal. Here's Havertz. Odegaard. Havertz. Looking to combine. Lays it off to Trossard. Here's Trossard from distance. Good save, Martinez. Leandro Trossard trying to just bend that towards the far stick, but there was a good flying save there. One for the cameras for the Argentine stopper. And I don't think Aston Villa would mind those shots, but Trossard is capable. Here's Maatsen, scored against Tottenham, a brilliant goal. Had Porro on toast for most of the game. So it's brilliant there from Rodgers. Watkins, critical defensive job there from Gabriel Magalhaes. That one-on-one duel, he had to win that, the Brazilian, because if Watkins gets past Magalhaes, easier said than done, and he's one-on-one with Raya there. Brilliant there from Gabriel. He's been one of Arsenal's standout players this season, along with Saka. Brilliant. The way Aston Villa just popped the ball around the corner, one touch. It's so hard to defend. Arsenal finding it difficult. Villa creating very good nearly moments. Arsenal attacking in bulk. Villa attacking in moments. That kind of long switch. They're trying to get Cash isolated on that right-hand side against Trossard. You see Thomas Tuchel at the Emirates. Good to see Tommy T doing a lot of scouting here. Saw him at Stamford Bridge when Chelsea faced Bournemouth. Good to see him back at the Bridge. Now as England manager, he'll have an eye on Watkins. Who else are the English players? Lewis Kelly, a left-back option. I think if he plays his season well here as Lewis Kelly, which I don't see any reason why he won't, he can very easily nail down that left-back spot for England. And know it's early, but considering the options England have at left-back, it isn't a wild shout. Here's Kamara. England having to play Trippier there sometimes, Luke Shaw. I mean, those options are a thing of the past. It's time for the modern fullback. Tielemans just looking to scoop that ball to Watkins, who had made the run. Thomas Partey takes a bit of risk. Goodness me, but he sets Arsenal, and Martinelli looks to burn Maatsen away, and it's a foul there by the young Dutch left-back. Had to make the foul there, because if he had been skinned there, which was looking a lot likely, Martinelli was running down that right-hand side. Good pace shown there by Martinelli. He's such a direct 1v1 winger. I think for Martinelli, why I use the word regression very softly, I wouldn't use it, but there is a visible regression in Martinelli's game because he's having to pick up the ball a lot more deeper, like you saw here. And I don't think that's his strength, where his main strength is when he makes those runs into the box, off the shoulder, off the right back, immediately in 1-2 touch. He's got very good ball striking. Arsenal have not used that weapon a lot more often, which I think so. Don't watch too much of Arsenal compared to people who do week in, week out. You might be able to change that opinion maybe, but with over 20 minutes on the clock, Arsenal take a quick free kick. Here's Timber, Odegaard, Rice out there wide on the right-hand side. Odegaard decides to sling it towards the far stick, and it's a needless ball, really. I think Arsenal just overworking that set piece. 20 minutes on the clock, 0-0. So far, so good for Aston Villa. Leandro Trossard with the shot from distance before that. Edge of the box, just creating a bit of separation away from Matty Cash. Was a comfortable save there for the player that is Emi Martinez, but it's something that Arsenal need to do a lot more. Shoot from outside the box. They like to play the percentage game, be as precise as possible in the forward areas. Morgan Rogers looking to win that. Watkins almost getting that away. Yes, Lewis Kelly. Look at him. He's playing as a number 6 here. Under pressure. Wins the foul. Brilliant there from Lewis Kelly. Really good work by the English left back. He's so comfortable in that position. I mean, when you see left backs invert, it's almost like a left-sided number 8 when they invert. Lewis Kelly, when Arsenal have the ball, he's very happy to pick up various positions. Here's Havertz. He is one player who's on the right-hand side for some reason. It makes no sense when Havertz decides to peel to the right-hand side. I mean, he doesn't have the pace, and Arsenal need his hold up and size in the box if they are to try and create something. When he's on that right-hand side, makes it very difficult. Here's Martinelli on the outside. Takes a touch away from Maatsen towards the far stake. Easily dealt with. Rogers, so cool in the box. Lays it off to Teilemans. Picks his head up to find Ollie Watkins. It's brilliant defending. Oh, Urian Timber reads that perfectly. Watkins had just found his way on the left-hand side of Timber. Timber reads that very well across. Teilemans, so dangerous. His passing range from midfield really is a cheat code. Keeps it short. He can play the quick 1-2s. He can go quick. Amazing. Declan Rice loses out to Kamara. So both players with very strange numbers on the back. Declan Rice with 41. Kamara with 44. Slip there by Lewis Kelly. But look at the position again by Lewis Kelly. Early on, just a minute before, we saw Lewis Kelly as a number 6 when he had the ball. And now he's almost like a left-sided number 10. I mean, incredible. This is how quick Aston Villa just countered. It all starts from Morgan Rogers just showing composure in the box while defending. I mean, just takes that touch. It's risky. Not many players should do that. And just like that, Arsenal pitched the ball, edge of the box. Here's Odegaard. Oh, he gets pinched brilliantly. I think that's Tielemans again. And Martinez saves the corner. Hand of apology there. And I think that was Jacob Ramsey. Wasn't Tielemans. Tielemans a lot more responsible with the ball in those areas. Saw Morgan Rogers, as soon as he's so assured with possession, really allows you to bypass the Arsenal press. Magalhaes is touch tight with Ollie Watkins. Oh, Cash with a heavy foul there. Surely it's a foul. It's a delayed whistle. And Merino with the sore one there on the side of his thigh. We're into this 25th minute, and this is the first time really that I'm seeing Mikel Merino. Oh, that's a high challenge there. Stud showing by Matty Cash. How much has he caught him here? That angle doesn't help, but I think Cash gets away with that, but don't know how he escapes the yellow card. Might have not caught him at all. Strange decision, but they're just saying we're approaching the 25-minute mark, and Merino, that left-sided number 8, say he's been anonymous. Is that a right shout? I would say 25 minutes on the clock. Not really sure as to. He does like to progress the ball and recycle, but in terms of standout attribute, which might help Arsenal in this game, I'm not sure. Here's Kamara battling against Trossard. Again, Aston Villa so composed. Oh, that's very well done there by Merino. As soon as I spoke about that, that is outstanding work. The press resistance and the cleverness to play the back heel from a very tight position here. And Martinelli swings it in, and it's meat and drink here for Emi Martinez. Only Kai Havertz the real threat in the box for Arsenal. So if they are to fling the ball into the box, it has to be pinpoint to Kai Havertz. Yes, he's got very good movement, but he's up against Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa, both proficient in the air. They might have other deficiencies, but in the air, they're really good. Odegaard looking to play the quick 1-2 here. Merino now getting a lot more involved after that collision with Matty Cash. Almost like a jolt to him. Starts to play a lot more football. Here's Odegaard. Timber, back to Odegaard. Again, Arsenal are trying to be patient to pick this lock. Villa won't mind this one bit here. This is exactly what they want. They're in a cage, in a defensive cage, but they're going man-to-man and allowing the Arsenal centre-halves with the ball. Lewis Kelly might just be an option to try and drive with the ball with his 1v1 abilities, or even try his passing range. We'll find out a lot about his abilities to pick the pass. Like Declan Rice, Martinelli decides to go across goal, and it's very well defended there by Ian Maatsen, who's having a very good game against the Brazilian winger. Here's Rice. Timber. Arsenal almost playing like a 2 as the centre halves in Timber and Magalhaes, 3 in midfield with Partey, Rice and Lewis Kelly. And the wingers holding the width, Merino and Odegaard playing in the half space. Havertz from distance, always pulling that wide. It's the first shot in anger there from the German. Over 27 minutes on the clock, but it was well wide. Again, there are a few opportunities. They're really shots from distance, and this is what Unai Emery will not mind at all. Arsenal pulling from distance just shows you that they might just be a bit desperate. Those clear-cut opportunities, haven't been able to pick the lock. Any 1v1 opportunities with the wingers or centre-half hasn't been there. Ollie Watkins looking to win the header. And I spoke about this at kickoff. Like, Aston Villa have a phenomenal bench in terms of attacking options. They've got John Duran, Leon Bailey, and new signing Daniel Malen from Dortmund. So that is outstanding in terms of depth, in terms of what you need for a front three away from home. Martinelli again, a ball into the box. Like, Mings is not going to have any issues here, but Trossard tried to dribble past. It's not going to work. And this time the long ball does work to Ollie Watkins. He's 1v2 here. It's by himself up against Gabriel and Timber. It's 1v5 now. It's Ollie Watkins. Has to take the long route around. It's very good defending there by Timber and Magalhaes. Gabriel just shepherds him out of play, and he just recycles all the way back. It's good defending there by Arsenal, but that's what you see, that long ball for us. Aston Villa, always an option. That's a good pass from midfield. Just wraps that into Jacob Ramsey, who just turns away first time. Just love those kind of movements where centre half just whips it in with pace into those half spaces. And if the turn is good, you're suddenly in business. There's a yellow card here from, I want to say, Chris Kavanagh, the referee. Not sure. Here's Tyrone Mings. The two backup centre halves for Aston Villa doing very well here. Pau Torres and Diego Carlos are the two. Oh, it's Arteta with the yellow card, not a player. Arteta, known for his touchline antics. Here's Kamara. We've spoken about Aston Villa's two centre halves, that Diego Carlos and Pau Torres. I do like the pairing, especially Pau Torres on the left hand side. Every time I watched him, he really is a brilliant left sided centre half. I mean, that is a rare breed in modern football. And Unai Emery, to recognize that as one of his main signings when he first came into the club, was just perfect. I mean, that just shows you the eye that he has for the game. Morgan Rogers with the foul there, and Lewis Kelly. It's a quickly taken free kick. They're well within their rights. Kai Havertz by himself on his side. Havertz. It's Havertz. Big save there by Martinez. Over 30 minutes on the clock, and Havertz was offside though. He wasn't to know, but was forced wide. They took it quickly. Let's have a look here. Ball is stationary. No issues there. Havertz clearly offside. Good recognition there. But Havertz, the way he beat Tyrone Mings there very easily, that is something that Mings has to work on. I mean, Havertz is not quick by any stretch of imagination. He does manipulate the ball swiftly. You can see the Arteta yellow card. He felt that it was a clean challenge, which in fairness did look like it, but he went absolutely mental at the decision, and he picks up the yellow card. He's feeling the heat. He knew that. I mean, when you look at the fixture list, he'll know the rivalry he's had with Unai Emery, that is a fixture that he has not got the better of, especially in the big moments when it matters the most, and at the Emirates Stadium. Oh, the throw-in is so strange. Watkins! Oh my goodness me! Arsenal nearly caught out then. Thomas Partey with the most suicidal of throw-ins straight to Ollie Watkins, and David Raya completely out of position. And if the chip is on target, Aston Villa 1-0 to the good. Whew. My goodness me. Every Arsenal fan in the stadium, watching around the world, would have had their hearts in their mouth. Oh my goodness, nearly. The most suicidal of throws there from Thomas Partey, and the barest of margins. He puts the hand up in apology. What are you thinking there? It is so close. Aston Villa have created a few chances, but few very good chances. That will worry Arteta and Arsenal, who's picked up a yellow card. The Arsenal manager, absolutely furious for that decision going against Arsenal. Villa have played this first half to perfection here. Here's Onana. Big presence in midfield, trying to venture forward. Here's Morgan Rogers, another powerful runner with the ball. Rogers picks his head up. Here's Ollie Watkins in the box. Ollie Watkins, that's a brilliant block. No surprises. Gabriel Magalhaes with the block. Again, Aston Villa electric on the counter-attack. All they need is a couple of passes and they're in. Game just starting to open up here. The final 15. Here's Thomas Partey. Kai Havertz once again on that right-hand side. We saw that early on. Don't understand why he peels. Here's Thomas Partey now on the right-hand side. Now Havertz makes his way into the box. He's had no joy whatsoever between Konza and Tyrone Mings. Here's Declan Rice. His good deliveries have dried up here. Arsenal struggling in the first half. Here's Lewis Kelly. Struggling, I mean, in the attacking areas, really troubling. Oh, there's a chance there. What a save. Brilliant. Outstanding reflexes. I think the goal has been given, though, and it is Gabriel Martinelli from near post. And that is a classic commentator's curse for Aston Villa. Arsenal immediately in the box, turn it on, and think it was Trossard with the ball into the box. This is brilliant. Just a quick manipulation there, and that's a clear goal. The goal line technology, spot on. Emi Martinez with the save, but on the follow-up, sees the ball past the line, and it's the two wingers who combine. Ian Maatsen, a bit sluggish there defensively, gets caught. And I think Martinez, having got there first, will be slightly disappointed that he can't prevent the goal. But Arsenal and Arteta desperately needed that. And after Aston Villa had some threatening moments, it's Arsenal with the lead. Martinelli is having a bit of resurgence here, and a much needed resurgence in the absence of Bukayo Saka, scoring the all-important first goal. And knowing how mean Arsenal are defensively, this is a crucial goal 10 minutes into approaching the first half. Perfect time here with Amadou Onana just having a bit of an injuries here. Let's have a look whether or not it was at the build-up of the goal. It's caught cold there. You can see Martinelli completely unmarked. He makes the run into the box. Nobody helping out Maatsen on that left-hand side. This is very good by Trossard, though. The manipulation to get away from camera is very good. The stand-in skipper, Emiliano Martinez, failing to keep that in. And Arsenal have the all-important lead. It's a big lead. Big lead. Oh, this is a real shame here. Onana has been substituted because of the injury now. This is a shame because Onana had missed time off with an injury. He might have been rushed back here, and he doesn't last the course of even the first half. It's a massive blow as Onana has been forced off with the injury. I just want to confirm the substitution. It's Bogard, Lamar Bogard, number 21. Well, he's 21 years of age, rather. It's the first time that I'll be seeing him in action. Young Dutch midfielder. See how it's a relief for Arsenal, I would say, because Onana was a real trouble, a real presence in the middle. He was dominating his duels, and that is a huge let-off now. It seems to be a like-for-like substitution here. So in terms of how Lamar Bogard plays in this first half, you'll just have a look as to how he picks up his positions. Have to keep a close eye on Odegaard. That's one thing that Onana was doing. Here's Merino with a left-footed ball into the box. Won't threaten. Maatsen takes a bit of a risk here. Here's Martinelli, fresh off his goal. His confidence will be through the roof. That's a good pass there to Partey. Looks for the quick 1-2. Oh, there's a chance. Brilliant shot there from Trossard. Close range over the crossbar. That was good there from Arsenal, trying to be very cute and clever with their movement. This is a good pass here from Thomas Partey. Oh, Martinelli was clearly offside, but with Maatsen making the interception, the ball fell kindly there to Trossard. It's a snapshot from close range. And Trossard, who was provided, nearly goal scorer. That would have stood, if that was on target. Martinelli was offside, affecting play, but who even knows? Here's Partey. Good first touch there by the Ghanaian. Merino. Declan Rice. Arsenal looking to just control the game now. 6 minutes of normal time left in this excellent first half. It has been a day of away wins in the Premier League today. We've seen Liverpool with the late dagger against Brentford, Darwin Núñez with the brace, both in stoppage time. We saw Fulham beat West Ham. I just want to get the matches correct as Trossard trying to tie up Matty Cash. Trossard, clip ball into the box. Merino wins his header. Havertz lays it off. Partey. Oh, that's a good ball. Mikel Merino looks to curl that in. And he's had a much better last 10 minutes here. Mikel Merino starting to pick up a lot more dangerous positions. The Spanish centre midfielder. That's a good pass here from Thomas Partey. Such a clever one reverse. It's a very cute pass. This between the line. Mikel Merino picks up a very good position, but can't find the back of the net. Speaking of away victories, Bournemouth, goodness. Bournemouth put on the best away performance in the Premier League, I think, at arguably the toughest ground, St. James's Park, Newcastle. They won 4-1 there. Aston Clivert with the hat-trick and Milos Kerkez adding the fourth. You ask any big team, so-called big team, when they go to St. James's Park, how they have to tackle the atmosphere and the quality that Newcastle have. And Andoni Iraola, with all the suspensions and injuries that he has, the injuries, my goodness me, he's had 8 or 9, and I would say 6 of them, I would say starters, and that's conservative, 5 at least in the forward areas, still managing to put the pressure. They're level on points with Chelsea, by the way. They were minutes away from getting all 3 points at Stamford Bridge. It was Reece James's free kick in stoppage time who Chelsea escaped with a point there. Surely a foul there, Kai Havertz. I mean, Ezri Konsa might have handled the ball because Havertz is appealing for it, but I think the foul was given with the hand on the back of Ezri Konsa. It's been a really good game of football so far. Highly engrossing game. We saw Aston Villa showing them the counter-attacking prowess. They break with lightning pace and they've got options on the bench which will play a huge part in the second half. Leon Bailey, John Duran and new signing Daniel Malen, all frightening options off the bench for Aston Villa. That's why that first goal for Arsenal is so crucial. It's a giveaway there. Partey's had a very good first half, got to be said. He's played with real composure. Oh, Havertz might have beaten the offside trap here, trying to get past the new side. Oh, there's a good header. Kamara will have to clear. Kai Havertz showing his quick ball manipulation there. It's a foul and it takes the pressure off completely, heading towards the final 2.5 minutes. Lamar Bogard on that occasion getting absolutely cooked there by Kai Havertz. Just that shake of the body gets away from him so quickly. Lamar Bogard. Got to get used to these names, the new players. Here's Morgan Rogers up against Lewis Kelly. 2 powerful players. That'll be a brilliant battle. Definitely going to play a bigger part in the second half. But Arsenal, full credit to them. I mean, yes, it looked like they were struggling going forward in terms of creating opportunities. In terms of control, I think they will be happy and Arteta will be too. And that goal just alleviates or even hides a lot of issues that you might have faced in that first half. Here's Bogard. Martinez, always clipping the ball, trying to find Ollie Watkins up against Gabriel. Very well done there from the centre half. Absolutely no time or space to maneuver whatsoever. Oh, there's a bit of afters here. It's Rogers and Trossard. 2 players with blonde streaks in their hair. Just trying to rile up the crowd there, Leandro Trossard. As Rogers will get a talking there by Chris Kavanagh. If he picks up a yellow card, it would be unnecessary. A bit of English tax might help him there. Heading into the final minute of normal time in this excellent first half here. What a day of Premier League action we have had. And as it stands with Arsenal's 1-0 lead, Arsenal are just 4 points behind Liverpool. Yes, having played a game more, but that is the kind of gap that you really do back yourself. If you are in the title race and you have aspirations to try and win the title, this is the kind of run. But I think Liverpool putting those 2 goals late on would have been deflating for Arsenal, who would have been watching that match against Brentford. Brentford were excellent, especially in that first half, created some excellent opportunities. They couldn't capitalize, and If you leave the door open for Liverpool, they will punish you. The longer it gets, they just have more killers, man. I mean, just players with those clinical moments, that cutting edge, even if they are inconsistent, the likes of Salah, Gakpo, Diaz, Nunez, even though hasn't found the back of the net for I don't know how many months, just comes up, pulls out two big goals. You saw him do this against Newcastle last season, and they were down to 10 men, suffering, down a goal. He comes off the bench, scores two goals. He is a maverick, a frustrating player. You can imagine Liverpool fans rather, even teammates, pulling their hair over him, knowing exactly what he has in terms of raw attributes, but he can't seem to put it together on the pitch. We're heading towards final 90 seconds of stoppage time here. If you had offered Arteta a 1-0 lead at halftime, he would have absolutely taken it. Knowing how good they are defensively, it is a really good lead to have. Final minute of stoppage time here in the first half. Free kick opportunity of Aston Villa. Just past the halfway line here. Arsenal holding a high line. Good header there by Partey. So good first touch there by Ramsey. Just petered out of the first half. Looked a bit bright early on. Him and Rodgers will need to take a lot more responsibility in the second half as the game will get stretched. So very good pass there by Teilemans to Kamara. It's the weight of pass is so good. Arsenal defending very well. Final 20 seconds. Here's Tielemans, press resistant. Looking to find the pass. It's very good here. Merino, he's had an outstanding end to the half, and it's a good pass shaped in towards Martinelli rather, and it's Tyrone Mings who makes the interception and concedes the corner. 47 minutes on the clock, and this will be the final action of the half, and it is a corner to Arsenal, one of their main sources of goals. They have a perfect opportunity here. It's a surprising decision. Yes, it's about the angle, but Odegaard taking the corner instead of Declan Rice. Well, I already had a commentator course before for Aston Villa, and I said Arsenal weren't looking threatening. Here's Odegaard, final action of the first half. It's a good ball in, good header. Bogart gets the header away, and the halftime whistle has been sounded. And that man right there, Gabriel Martinelli, with that far post finish, giving Arsenal a 1-0 lead to take towards halftime. What a first half this has been. This promises to really bubble and boil in the second half. Ollie Watkins has looked threatening. Aston Villa have options on the bench, which will make things very, very interesting. But it's halftime here at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal 1, Aston Villa 0. As I mentioned there, it has been a day for away teams stepping in and winning the games. Saw Bournemouth with a 4-1 win at St. James's Park. Bournemouth now level on points with Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, hosts Wolverhampton Wanderers at Stamford Bridge. Might be a Monday night kickoff, Tuesday night kickoff. We'll have to check that one out. But Justin Kluivert, who scored a penalty at Stamford Bridge with his second hat-trick this season. Incredible. Scoring a hat-trick at St. James's Park. Brilliant for him. Milos Kerkez adding the fourth. And as for Newcastle, Bruno Guimaraes, goal scorer for them. Liverpool winning 2-0 away at Brentford, the Vitality Stadium. Liverpool having an even game, playing very well, but it was getting frustrating for them, feeling that Arsenal breathing at the back of their neck. But Darwin Nunez with two big goals to give them all 3 points to create a bit of separation. As for Leicester, they really are struggling to pick up points under manager Ruud van Nistelrooy. They're in 19th with 14 points. It's looking very long for them because Wolves and Ipswich level on 16 makes it very, very difficult. So they need victories with Tottenham, with Everton rather in 16th. And I'm just looking at the table, and if I look at it right, Tottenham are 15th in the league. That is terrible. They have 24 points. Yes, if they win, they might rival Crystal Palace. Yeah, but this is terrible. Ange Postecoglou under so much pressure, under so much trouble, having this issue there. And Crystal Palace spoke about them having a 2-0 lead victory away at West Ham. Graham Potter winning last week, struggling against their London rivals. Jean-Philippe Mateta with the brace. 2 goals in the second half for the French striker. What a season he's had. He's been brilliant under Oliver Glasner. The resurrection and just his all-round improvement and how the way he's played has been brilliant. He's been a reliable centre forward, and I think he's making a case for the French squad here as that second striker with Kolo Muani struggling. That second place with Mbappe almost playing as the centre forward really does open up for Jean-Philippe Mateta. But no such away problems for Arsenal and Arteta as it's a 1-0 lead here. Arsenal, if they can hold on to the second half and add on, they'll be 4 points behind league leaders Liverpool. And that is the kind of pressure that you want to put on the league leaders. And considering Liverpool have dropped a few points, like they did against Newcastle, Fulham, we saw recently against, who's they drop points against? Has been rare. Nottingham Forest, yeah, that game, the 1-1, that was a fantastic game of football as well. That was end-to-end. Liverpool having to come from behind in that game and almost winning. Saw Mo Salah with the late effort, which is cleared off the line by Ola Aina. There was everything happening in that game. But yeah, when Liverpool have dropped points, Arsenal have not been able to capitalize. And that's why the gap does exist. So Liverpool haven't need to be perfect so far. That draw against Manchester United, yes, the one at Anfield. United coming from behind in that game as well. So Liverpool, when dropping points, haven't really been punished. That's why the lead, they have a 4-point lead, game in hand. They're looking good. I think they are very much the favourites in terms of the title. And I have made my peace with Liverpool winning the title this season. It's just the way it is, man. It's either them or Arsenal. Don't like either. But I think Liverpool, it's just their ability to keep clean sheets. Van Dijk, Konate, and Alisson. I mean, that trio is just, that's the difference maker, man. When you're going for the league, when the games are tight, when you know opposition have all the threat and the ability to soak it up, last ditch challenges, just strong, powerful, elite attributes. I mean, that really is the difference maker. And that is why I think Arsenal will fall short. Yes, they have Saliba, Gabriel, and Raya, who are very good themselves and have that elite attributes. But it's just that I think with the Liverpool players, it's almost like a been there, done that. While for the Arsenal ones, it's nearly moments team. So that's what separates the best from the rest. In terms of keeping Ollie Watkins quiet, I think Saliba has done very well. I mean, Gabriel has done very well. Saliba missing, of course. In terms of being touch tight, front foot defender, he's invaluable. Gabriel Magalhaes, he is excellent. Let's look at what's happening in the rest of the Europe. Espanyol beat Valladolid. Girona beat Sevilla. Atletico Madrid lost to Leganes. That is a very, very surprising result. Leganes in 15th, as Atletico Madrid had an opportunity to just open up a gap at the top of the league. Instead, now with 20 points, they are top with 44, but Real Madrid, with the win, with the game in hand, go 2 points clear of Atletico Madrid. Barcelona in third, falling off after a brilliant start to the season under Hansi Flick. They've just tailed off towards the end, now find themselves in third. Injuries, economic issues, all coming to the fray there for Barcelona. Atletico Madrid will be disappointed, though. Yes, away from home, Leganes, you expect them to do the business against them. especially going full strength. They had Alvarez, Griezmann, see Gallagher, Barrios, De Paul, Simeone, Lenormand, Longley, Galan, Molina, and Oblak. The 4-4-2 that Simeone loves. So he'll be disappointed. And as in Italy, Juventus are 2-0 to the good here. Juventus 2-0 up against AC Milan. Bangula and Villa. 2 goals in 5 minutes for the old lady. 2-0 for Juventus takes them into fourth position. Juventus are unbeaten in Serie A, but they have drawn 13 out of their 21 games as it stands. That is not good. I mean, when you're unbeaten, it gives your team a lot of belief, but in terms of progress, and it almost gives you a bit of false progress when you pick up so many draws. You almost feel like this. I'll trade some of those draws for victories and losses instead. I mean, with losses, you learn a lot more, and sometimes draws might mask some of the deficiencies. But they have struggled. They're 10 points behind league leaders Napoli, who have a game in hand. So that is the gulf between first and fourth in Serie A. As for Napoli and Inter, they are going to go toe to toe, and Atalanta in third, just in the mix there, making things very interesting. I mean, I'm a big fan of Gasperini. He is such a good coach. I mean, I think he's found a home there at Atalanta. He's a top coach. I really love the way he coaches, especially with the way he plays with the centre forward. I'm a big fan of Scamacca, which it didn't work for him at West Ham, but he's got elite attributes there. Giancarlo Scamacca, is it? Yeah, I forget his first name, but he is such a good centre forward. Gianluca Scamacca. He is really a good player. They've got Pasilic, they've got Adamalo Lukman, who is just skyrocketed on that left wing. He's built a really good team, and then Charles de Ketelaer's got really good options. I like it. I like what Gasperini have done. He's also a Conference League winner. So he's got a bit of European pedigree as well now added on here. We'll head into the second half shortly. Unai Emery will want more from his team. He'll know the game is under control, and he knows how to hurt Arsenal. It's whether or not can they hurt Arsenal in those moments, and that will be the main thing. I don't do predictions, but what I want to see is an Aston Villa goal in the second half. I mean, that will really get the game going. It will get that game. It's simmering. You can see the Aston Villa forwards haven't really been clicking so far. But I like what they have on the bench. As for Arsenal, no movement in the transfer window yet for them. It's 18th of January with a lot of forward options missing. Probably Jesus missing the entirety of the rest of the season. Saka probably coming in February, maybe even early March with that hamstring injury. They're short in the attacking areas. They haven't really made a move. They haven't panicked in terms of any quick moves in this January window. Arsenal historically do not sign players in the January window. If they do, they're almost like stopgap signings. But Arsenal's stopgap signings, January signings, that is, are starting to get a lot of minutes. Trossard, Jorginho, these are the two big signings that Arteta has made. Not in terms of outlay, because Jorginho was 12 million from Chelsea and Trossard was 20 million from Brighton. So 32 million between the two players, and for what they are as good squad options, it's good investment there from Arsenal. But it almost feels like they need a needle mover who just adds that extra fear factor, threat. Someone that opposition defenders would be, okay, I got my work cut out today. I've got Saka on the right hand side, somebody else on the left. somebody as a striker, maybe as a second option with no Jesus and Havertz having to play 90 minutes week in, week out, and he'll have to keep doing that for the rest of the season. Yeah, if Arsenal don't buy a centre forward, which I don't think they will, because you need somebody to come in almost as a second option, because Arteta does not drop Havertz. He will play him. If it's not centre forward, he's going to play him as left-sided midfielder. I mean, he will not drop him. He's a 65 million marquee, 290k a week centre forward. So, I mean, centre forward now, but wasn't bought as a centre forward. But they've stuck with him for about 12 months now as a centre forward from his 18 months at Arsenal. Hasn't scored today. He's been decent in terms of holding the ball, but every time the ball has been flung into the air, Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings have had no issues dealing with those crosses into the box, and that has been a bit of a problem. So Havertz might have to find different avenues in terms of goal-scoring opportunities. Tomorrow, of course, we've got more action in the Premier League. Manchester United host Brighton, and that will be a very interesting game. Two young managers going head-to-head there. That'll be a very, very good game, I think. I like what Amram has done in terms of his ideas and how he likes his team to play. He hasn't gotten the points, but that victory against Southampton a couple of days back, I mean, they were a few minutes away from losing that game and all hell would have broken loose. United have played quote unquote well in some of the games, but haven't picked up points. See the one against Arsenal, Liverpool, they were good results for Manchester United, but they both were draws. And that victory against Southampton may not seem very significant, but it's just they need points. I mean, you need 3 points. You just can't afford, because you look at Spurs right now, they are just struggling to pick up 3 points and find themselves in 15th now. So that's how crazy the Premier League is. And if you're playing well and you draw, that doesn't really help. If you play well and you lose, that's even worse. 3 points now is the main remit as we head towards that final 3 months of the season. And this is very proactive here from Unai Emery and Aston Villa. It is Luca Dean, the left back, the French left back, will be introduced here. Now, whether or not it's a like-for-like substitution with Ian Maatsen, or is he going to play as a left winger maybe? Emery having to be proactive here, not waiting whatsoever, just rolling the dice immediately. Yep, it's a like-for-like change. Ian Maatsen. Decent first half for the young Dutch left back. Now Unai Emery going for a more experienced left back in the French one, in Luca Dean. We're all but set here for the start of the second half at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal, as it stands, 4 points behind league leaders Liverpool. This will be a massive 45 minutes for Arsenal. They are to try and make that title push here. They cannot afford to drop points, even though they've had a very good last 5 games, winning 4 and just drawing 1. But every time they do drop points, especially when Liverpool win, that could be even more damaging. Here's Rice. Had a very good first half defensively, positionally, whipped in some brilliant deliveries into the box. Well, Aston Villa have had one substitution forced on them. Amadou Onana being substituted in the 35th minute, was it? It was Lamare Bogard coming on for him, the young Dutch centre midfielder. The young Dutch left back, Ian Maatsen, being hooked at half-time for Luca Dean. Here's Mikel Merino with the header, and Cash clears. Mikel Merino had a very good end to the half. I think the final 10 minutes, he started being a lot more decisive in his movements, starting to be a lot more of a threat. Was a bit passive in the first 30. Started to get onto the ball a lot more, trying to affect the game in the final third. Arsenal with the early set-piece opportunity here. Rice with the right foot, Odegaard with the left, both viable options. Rice has stepped away here now. Will be the Arsenal skipper with over 90 seconds into the second half. Villa already having to defend a set-piece opportunity down a goal here. Odegaard not happy. Sees Matty Cash in what might look like an unfair position. It's Odegaard. Odegaard with the ball into the box. The header there from Kai Havertz off target. It will be a goal kick. The German gets his head to it. It's a good run there from Kai Havertz. Starts off almost on the left back Dean and ends up on the other side at the near stick with the header. Again, doesn't get his head to it. It's his shoulder. That's been a bit of a problem there for Kai Havertz. Saw that against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. From close range, the header makes no contact. That one was on the shoulder. That was inexcusable. This one a lot more quicker, but has to get his head on it. Having got there, just to try and trouble Emi Martinez. That was a good ball there by Martin Odegaard. Here's Trossard, 3 minutes into the second half. Arsenal looking to play on the front foot here. Both centre-halves looking to push up the pitch into Aston Villa territory. Here's Gabriel, going to be the leader with Saliba missing from training, not taking the risk. Starting here, he's way too valuable for Arsenal for him to miss any sort of extended period of time. The odd game, not a problem with Jurrien Timber, an excellent player, a very able deputy for William Saliba. Here's Trossard up against Cash. Nice pass of the outsider's boot. Here's Lewis Kelly, cuts across, big opportunity, cleared. Luca Digne gets that out of harm's way. Lewis Kelly, outstanding positioning from the left back. Look at him, high and wide here, brilliant. Beats Morgan Rogers, cuts the ball across perfectly. Neither Kai Havertz nor Martinelli making the run there. And Luca Digne clears that away. Wonderful by Lewis Kelly. Really impressive. Seen a lot of him over the past few weeks. Every time he has just looked top. It's another set piece, corner opportunity. This time Declan Rice with his right foot. Arsenal once again starting the half like they did in the first, on the front foot, creating opportunities and set pieces. Here's Rice with the ball in. Martinez gets something on it. Will be another corner. The other side this time will be Martin Odegaard with the left foot this time. Again, Declan Rice's corners, so dangerous. Martinez almost has to be on his front foot. I think it was Mings who got the final touch. He wasn't to know. Takes no chances there as Odegaard soaks in the atmosphere. With 5 minutes into the second half, all Arsenal so far. We'll keep one eye on the bench for Aston Villa. I have really built it up all match. To have those options on the bench really does show that Aston Villa do mean business this season. 50 minutes on the clock. Ball floated in. Merino with the header. It's cleared away there by Ramsey. Trossard from distance. It's blocked. Martinelli, faced by Camara, does very well. Martinelli trying to break up the Frenchman's challenge. Here's Trossard, floated in. Camara again with the header. Teilemans heads away. Arsenal relentless so far, not allowing Villa any time on the ball. They've barely had 2 or 3 passes strung forward. Brilliant there by Declan Rice, really driving his team forward. Odegaard on the right side, ball into the box. Easily gathered. Commanding presence of Emi Martinez. Collects that and sets Aston Villa on the way on the left-hand side. Here's Luca Digne. Watkins, nice pass around the corner here. I think Ramsey might be offside, and he is. If Aston Villa How to make a substitution? I think Jacob Ramsey might be with the first one that will be withdrawn. Whether or not Villa might play at two strikers up front, John Duran and Ollie Watkins, could be a very interesting option. Very rarely do see two centre forwards play in the Premier League. Would be an option though. Definitely a throw the kitchen sink option on the bench. Might be a foul there. Gabriel Magalhaes has been flawless in this match so far, over 50 minutes. He's so difficult to get away from. He's a tenacious player with all the attributes you need from a modern centre-half. Here's Magalhaes with the switch. Immaculate pass to Martinelli on that right-hand side. Goes all the way back to Partey. Here's Timber. Back to Gabriel. Goes all the way back to David Raya. Raya made a couple of good saves in the first half. The one of Ian Maatsen was from close range and had to get that right. Wasn't either side of him would have made it very interesting, but kept it at 0-0 was a huge part of it. Here's Declan Rice. Timber. Arsenal very, very patient. This is perfect. This is what Arteta would want. His team looking in control. Looking to pick the passes. The switch there from Gabriel. Doesn't find Trossard. Why we brought up the bench is because Arsenal bench today is thin, to say the very least. The injuries have not helped them one bit. Youngster Ethan Wanyeri also picking up a muscle injury, so he's not an option as well. But let's have a look at Arsenal's bench. I know that Raheem Sterling is definitely an option and will need to get minutes under the belt. And look at the second half possession. Arsenal have nearly 85% of the ball. That's how dominant they've been. Villa have not laid a glove on Arsenal nearly 10 minutes into the second half. And that is just control. That is brilliant second half control. And that's something that Chelsea could learn. Because Chelsea are just electric in the first half. But in the second half, it's just lack of intensity. It's just, oh man, it's very hard to explain. It's something that Enzo Maresca and Chelsea have not figured out in well over a month as to how to sustain good first halves with good second halves. Because the game against Bournemouth is a perfect example as to how Chelsea are Jekyll and Hyde, man. First half, irresistible football. Could have been 2-3-0 up in the second half. Doesn't look threatening. Oh, it's Kai Havertz from close range. And we built this up pre-match as to how important Kai Havertz needed to get a goal. And once again, it's Leandro Trossard. And Arsenal have dominated the second half. They have completely suffocated Aston Villa. Trossard on the left-hand side with 2 assists here, this time to his centre forward. And Kai Havertz's run was well met. Strong foot there. But again, it's straight at Emi Martinez, which is why I was surprised as to how he was beaten. Both goals coming straight. It was low and hard, like the first goal. Difficult for Martinez. Catches the side of his shin. And Kai Havertz gets the much-needed goal. And Arsenal have the cushion. It's 2-0. They are full value for the 2-0 and 3 points here. Brilliant 10 minutes into the second half. Relentless pressure. Unai Emery and Aston Villa have not been able to cope one bit. And Arsenal are well and truly on for 3 points here. And just 4 points behind league leaders Liverpool. Trying to match their pace, trying to keep up with the men in red. And Arsenal almost pitching the ball there through Kai Havertz. 2-0 to the good here. And for Aston Villa, the bench will have to be used now swiftly because Arsenal get another goal. This could get ugly for Aston Villa. Here's Kamara. It's a very clever pass on the left-hand side. Here's Jacob Ramsey. They've just lacked pace in those wide areas there, Aston Villa. They have it on the bench. Will this be the game that Unai Emery decides to throw in the new signing, Daniel Malen? He's barely been at the door. I think he arrived a couple of days back. Him, Leon Bailey, Jean Duran, options that viable on the bench. Unai Emery looking very sullen there, the touchline. He'll know that the second half has not gone according to plan. They have been thoroughly outplayed, and Arsenal get the goal. Trossard with 2 assists, both with his left foot, his weaker left foot. Clutch moment there, Leandro Trossard. Him as well coming under a bit of scrutiny. Teilemans with the ball in, easily cleared away by Kai Havertz. Headed away by Camara. Here's Cash trying to go on the outside of Trossard, who's beaten him very comfortably. Rogers trying to pinch the ball back. Very well done there by Trossard and Lewis Kelly. Last touch does come off the young left back. Will be a corner and an opportunity for Aston Villa to respond here. Leandro Trossard, the difference maker, the lock picker on both occasions here, and Aston Villa have created very little from open play. Have just won their first corner, and boy oh boy do they need a moment here just to get back into this contest. Tielemans with the ball into the box. It's not cleared. Camara doesn't get there first. Arsenal can break here. It's 2-on-2, and Aston Villa immediately flooding the box forward. Martinelli missing a trick there. Decides to go all the way back. That is a bit of a shame there. And Villa quickly back into position there. Martinelli almost getting robbed there. Arsenal counter-attack. Now might lead into a Aston Villa counter-attack. Here's Camara. Tielemans. Tielemans hasn't been effective whatsoever. Hasn't got his foot on the ball, in fairness. Arsenal have just swamped them in that second half. Saw the possession stats. It was 85-15 or 84-16. Nearly 10 minutes into the second half. So it just shows you that Aston Villa almost playing zero football, or forced to play zero football in the second half. Arsenal scoring in crucial moments, I think, just prior to the first half whistle and after the first half whistle. I mean, perfect timing. Good ball into the box. Oh, what a header that is. It's Tielemans' header. Incredible ball into the box. I think that was Luca Dean with the left-footed ball. What a header. You don't associate that with Yuri Tielemans, of all people. And it's the two substitutes combining. Bogart with the switch there. This is a peach from Luca Dean. And it's Tielemans who gets into the box. First time he's burst in there. Gets ahead of Mikel Merino. What a header that is from near range. Beats David Raya. And Aston Villa, out of absolutely nothing there, create the all-important chance. And now cut the lead to 1 goal here. And look what it means to Tielemans. Trying to pump up the home fans, the away fans rather. Here's Trossard. 2 goals in quick time. It's a good ball cleared away there. Partey recovers. Will clip it towards the far stick. Merino with the header. Cleared away. Tielemans, the goal scorer. Trying to lay it off to Watkins. Does well against Timber. Watkins with a brilliant spin there. And now Ramsey up against Gabriel. Camara will make the run inside. Ramsey into the box. Shoves away Partey. Ramsey into the box. Rogers nearly getting the Tielemans. Oh, it's so close. I think it hit the base of the post. Tielemans is convinced that that was a corner. And Aston Villa nearly equalizing. What a break that was. Jacob Ramsey, edge of the box. Tielemans. Oh, it's hit the base of the post. How unlucky. No touch there from an Arsenal player. And Tielemans nearly getting a brace. Wow. Incredible, incredible 5 minutes of football. Nearly seen 3 goals. We have the 2. This game is not over. Aston Villa were looking non-threatening in the second half. Yuri Tielemans' goal completely changes that. He knows he should have buried that. But take nothing away from the header that started it all off. It was a brilliant header. Luca Dean's delivery is delicious, man. What a ball. Yuri Tielemans, let's go, says the Belgian midfielder. What is it about Aston Villa, Emirates, Unai Emery, Arteta? This just has stories after stories written here, scripts after scripts. Merino wins the header. You can see Arteta's reaction after that second goal. He would have felt the weight of his shoulders come off, but goal like that, a moment like that with Tielemans hitting the base of the post, just puts the anxiety back in. Lewis Kelly getting bumped there. Unai Emery, he's a never say die manager, isn't he? My first ever video on YouTube was on Unai Emery. I wanted to be unbiased. I wanted just my footballing thoughts, keep my bias to the side, stock strict facts and the eye test. And I just wanted to speak about Unai Emery. And it was the day after they beat Bayern Munich in the Champions League. And I just felt that was a seminal moment for Aston Villa and Unai Emery. I mean, qualified for the Champions League. They're not there just to make up the numbers. They're there to compete. They did very well in the group stages, picking up impressive victories in the campaign. It'll be a tricky opposition. Don't think anyone in Europe will fancy them, especially at Villa Park. I mean, that is a stadium waiting for Champions League football for 25, 30 years, I think even more. What a story that is, and what a manager. I mean, I'm a big fan. Here's Digne, who was the difference maker, coming on as that second half substitute. So Ian Maatsen picking up high and inverted positions. Luca Digne, a more traditional fullback, traditional left back to be a lot more accurate, and Digne will concede the corner. Not happy with that decision. Odegaard wins the corner. Arsenal looking to re-establish that 2-goal advantage. Was a corner, Digne. Can be upset with that, but the last touch before the ball went out of play was off the Aston Villa left back. There's a lot of controversy in the North London derby when Arsenal scored their first. It wasn't a corner. It was clearly not a corner. The referee was looking right at it as well. So Arsenal scoring soon after that. Now having an opportunity, this time a clear-foot corner here. Odegaard with the corner here. Odegaard with the ball in. Martinez always proactive in the box. Gabriel wins the first header. Trossard trying to hook that back. Ball trying to break here. Oh, it's a clever scoop pass. Martinelli! Wide. He will ask in hope for a corner. He knows that he has sliced it. This is such a clever pass here by Gabriel Magalhaes. Just scoops it up. Martinelli very much onside. And on the volley, just slices it. Good opportunity there. And Gabriel creating it. Here's Watkins up against Magalhaes. As we look at the attempts here, and it's half literally for shots in total and shots on target. Arsenal having 10 in total and 4 on target, while Villa have 5 and 2 on target. Surely a foul there by Merino, pulling, no? Continue. Here's Mikel Merino. Partey, scoopy pass here to Kai Havertz. Got the second goal and another corner here. Corner count keep on rising here for Arsenal. Aston Villa have to be careful here. They are chasing the game. The last thing they'll want is for Arsenal to score that set-piece goal, which almost feels inevitable in every game. And Arsenal will get one through their set-piece. They get so many of them. And one of them is bound to go in. And there is Daniel Malen. the winter acquisition from Aston Villa. For those who've played FIFA, who have not watched too much of Daniel Malen for Netherlands or his stint in Germany, will know him from FIFA, that's for sure. He is rapid, isn't he? As Arsenal have a corner into the box. It's a good header there by Rodgers. Trossard. Teilemans, so composed. My goodness me. Finds an accurate pass here to Ollie Watkins. Up against Trossard. Trossard doing well to track back. Oh, it's a clear foul there by the Belgian. Should be a yellow card there. Will be. Chris Kavanagh, having no doubts in his mind there, books the Belgian. Good carry there by Ollie Watkins from the edge of his own box to the halfway line, and all comes from Youri Tielemans showing very good composure in the box. Instead of just booting it forward, he just plays a very calm pass to Ollie Watkins. The game is still very much open here, and the bench still unused for Aston Villa. It's a free kick that Arsenal have to defend. Teilemans takes it towards the far stake. Good header there by Merino. Cash picks up. Cash on his left foot. It's a very good ball. Watkins 2-2! If Ollie Watkins is onside, which he is, Ollie Watkins has wiped out Arsenal's 2-goal lead. And Arsenal have capitulated, and Aston Villa have hit back. And how? Ollie Watkins with a beautiful first-time finish on the volley. Oh, this is just brilliant from Ollie Watkins. Sensational pick out there by Matty Cash on his left foot. Both fullbacks contribute for Aston Villa. And the calm side foot finish roofs it over Raya. And Arsenal have blown a 2-goal advantage. And Aston Villa, full value for it. And it might sound ridiculous, but with Tielemans scoring and nearly scoring soon after, they get the all-important second. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Never say die spirit here from Aston Villa. And Unai Emery doesn't panic, keeps the same team down 2-0, and his team hits back. Tielemans first, and now Ollie Watkins. What must Arteta be thinking right now? His team looking in all sorts of control in the second half. Has just seen the game completely been wrestled away here. And Villa are so dangerous here. Dino with the ball forward. Has Ollie Watkins broken the offside trap? He hasn't. And I kept talking about substitutions in this game. And with the potency that Villa have at the break and now the game level, Villa's bench is going to play a huge part. For Arsenal, they have got Jakub Kiwior, Kieran Tierney, Zinchenko, Jorginho, and Raheem Sterling. Now, in terms of goal scoring from these five, I don't see any goals. Now, I might be wrong and something strange might happen on the pitch. But for Villa, they have got John Duran, Leon Bailey, and Daniel Malen as options off the bench. As we head towards the final 20 minutes, there is the man with the equalizer, Ollie Watkins. What is it about Watkins and the Emirates? Always seems to score. He scored the second in the game last season, which all but extinguished Arsenal's title hopes. Now scoring a goal, which might just do it again. As we see John Duran and Leon Bailey on the bench, their number could be up in the next 5 or 10 minutes. I would not be surprised one bit as Ollie Watkins scores the goal. It is not an easy finish what he does, because it's such a curious ball, because it just beats Kai Havertz just by the very few inches and lands perfectly on him. So his anticipation for it was perfect. Both fullbacks for Aston Villa doing the business. Nearly 90 minutes on the stream here, as Matty Cash addresses a bloody lip here. Arsenal have to reset, recalibrate, rethink, and do it all over again. The euphoria they would have felt after Kai Havertz scored the second would have been immeasurable. It was a goal that had a lot of significance in terms of Havertz scoring against Aston Villa, considering the week that he had against United in the FA Cup and Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, not scoring against Tottenham. He needed a goal. He gets the all-important second, the cushion, what looked like the cushion, but my oh my, has it changed? Has it all changed? And it changed very quickly. Let me check the temperature of some of my Arsenal mates. If you have an Arsenal friend, always check on their health. Lewis Kelly, looking to the throw-in. He's had a very good game of football. He's put very little wrong in terms of what he could have done. Could he have done better in terms of stopping the cross? But it was Matty Cash with his left foot. So if you are a left back and you have shown the winger on his weaker foot, if he puts the ball in and it finds the striker, sometimes all you can do is put your hand up. Here's Gabriel Magalhaes. Skelly picking up a high position here. Boga doing very well. He's looked unfazed. The young Dutch midfielder replaced Amadou Onana in the first half. Here's Thomas Partey, Odegaard, Timber, Odegaard again, Rice, Lewis Kelly. Arsenal dominant, keeping the ball. Villa happy to retreat back into their shape. Trossard on a hat-trick of assists. It's Rice from distance! Oh, it's just wide. Declan Rice nearly curling that into the top corner. It was hit with real force and real whip there by the England number 6. Good ball striking there from Declan Rice. Seen that with his corners and some of his goals that he scored for Arsenal. That time nearly working for them. Emi Martinez at full stretch, making sure that made it as difficult as possible if it was on target. So we're heading towards the final 15. And Arsenal really can't afford to lose the game for them. It would be damaging, not just in terms of points, but psychologically, it would be so damaging. Just a few fouls here creeping up here. Aston Villa committing 1 or 2 naughty fouls here, just trying to unsettle Arsenal. This is the right thing to do. This is exactly how you're trying to rattle their cage. Might just fire up Arsenal, give them that extra cutting edge, or might just frustrate them. Unai Emery has not used his bench so far. It has been very surprising. Heading into the final 15. Odegaard. Here's Martinelli. Lovely bit of skill there to beat Digne, but Digne gets his foot very nicely on it. Just be a throw-in. Final 15. It's a big 15 minutes coming up here for Arsenal and their season here. Trying to cut the lead onto Liverpool. Oh, Teilemans, what a turn. He is absolutely brilliant, man. And picks up the right pass to Matty Cash. He picks his head up. He's got 2 options in the box. Rodgers and Watkins. Oh, that is so poor. Teilemans gets there first, trying to buy the foul. It's clever from him. The referee wasn't going to bite. Arsenal get the free kick, and it's a quick take. Here's Trossard up against Boga. Good work there by the young midfielder. Here's Havertz on the left-hand side, peeling away. He's got a lot of space. It's such a poor first touch. And Morgan Rogers, outstanding work defensively, gets the shot away from Kai Havertz. Havertz looks shattered physically here. That first touch is a telltale sign of a tired, exhausted player. Havertz cannot really rest here. He has to play 90 minutes week in, week out, midweek, at the weekend. Doesn't matter. If Arsenal don't address the centre-forward issue with Gabriel Jesus potentially missing the entirety of the season, Kai Havertz will just have to keep on playing 90 minutes, and that is the cold, hard fact here. We'll have to earn every bit of that massive contract. 76 minutes on the clock here. Declan Rice. Lewis Kelly. Again, Arsenal haven't budged in terms of any movement off the bench. Villa making a couple in terms of defensive substitutions. A defensive midfielder and a left back, not in terms of any attackers. One forced, one tactical. It's a good pass forward. Again, Villa pinching the ball in midfield, but through unfair means. Tyrone Mings cannot believe it. 13 minutes plus stoppage time still to be played. Arsenal season potentially hinging once again with Aston Villa visiting. What is it about Unai Emery and Aston Villa? I know the answer from Unai Emery's point of view. The way that, that's a bad challenge there by Camara. Start showing on Mikel Merino. It's just a yellow card. Merino looks okay to continue. It's a sore one. And you see that left-hand side for Arsenal with this free kick. They've got three of their giants up against Rodgers, Cash, and Bogard. It is an absolute mismatch with Declan Rice whipping the ball with his right foot. Emery has not addressed this one bit. And they all peel to the other side, now holding central positions. The ball into the box. Gabriel gets his header, but it's easily into the hands of Martinez. You saw them, they're trying to create that overload with those three players on that left-hand side, but soon before the ball was being delivered, they all went and picked up central areas, kind of defeated the purpose and the overload purpose. Not sure. Martinez decides to just hack that clear, and Arsenal being 2-0 up, looking comfortable, looking all but set for 3 points, and to continue the pressure on league leaders Liverpool, blow that 2-goal advantage. And this is a sight that no Arsenal fan, player, manager will want to see, with the goal scorer, the guy who got the equalizer coming off, and the very dangerous Colombian centre forward, John Duran, coming on. This could be a big substitution. No surprises. That's such a good finish there by Ollie Watkins, whose evening comes to an end. Nearly 80 minutes for the England centre forward. He's done his job, bringing his team back into the contest. Now tagging in John Duran for the final 10 plus stoppage time. We know all about John Duran. He was a relatively unknown quantity, but had an excellent end to this last season. And now every scout, every opposition manager knows everything you need to know about John Duran. And passes like that will frustrate the Arsenal faithful at the ground. Every free kick for Aston Villa will be taken. Every goal kick will be taken with time as it runs down. And Arsenal now forced to dip into their bench. And it's Raheem Sterling, the only real notable attacker on the bench, coming on with 80 minutes now on the clock. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant game of football. Barclays, it just does not fail to surprise, does it? And you think you've seen it all. Here's Cash, who's taken a bit of a chance, and he's been robbed off here. Ball, and Mikel Merino floats the ball in. It's a disappointing ball, headed away. But here's, that's brilliant there by Trossard. Good fake. The left-footed effort is very disappointing. Dina will clear that away. That was a brilliant take by Leandro Trossard. It was in the air. He just brings it down with ease and just shifts it on his left foot, creating separation. Here's Gabriel Magalhaes. Trossard. Up against Cash. He's had a lot of joy. He's had 2 assists. Lewis Kelly is into the box. Lewis Kelly, it's Declan Rice from distance. He thought about it. Partey. Mikel Merino is looking to make the overlapping run, but instead has to lay it off to Declan Rice. That's a good pass there by Rice. Thomas Partey into the box. What a block that is. Odegaard with the effort. Oh, what a turn that is from Teilemans, and he'll get the foul. Odegaard with a big opportunity there. What a block this is. Clever from Declan Rice. The scoop pass to Thomas Partey, who identifies his skipper at the edge of the box. And I thought that was Tyrone Mings who made the block there. As Martinelli's evening comes to an end, he started things off in the first half with the goal, and it's Raheem Sterling now tasked with trying to find the winner here for Arsenal. Aston Villa have made 3 substitutions to Arsenal's 1. They have 2 more available, but Aston Villa have done the 3 substitution in 3 different times. One was a 4 substitution, so I don't know whether or not they can make another substitution if it's not a concussion injury. So Leon Bailey and Daniel Malen, I don't think will touch grass here. I might be wrong, but I think you can only make 5 substitution, but in 3 different allotments. Whether or not that rule has been changed, I'm not sure. Here's Lewis Kelly. 7.5 minutes plus normal time. We'll see a good chunk of stoppage as well. At least 5 minutes might be added on here for stoppages, goals, and substitutions. Again, Arsenal's forced back with every back pass. You'll feel the groans in the crowd, and that is going to happen for sure. Here's Gabriel Magalhaes. Declan Rice. Trossard. Rice again. He's picked his head up for the switch. Digne with the cushion header. Arsenal recover. Trying to throw absolutely everything. They'll need the late show like Liverpool did. And here's Sterling with his first involvement. Good pace shown there, but Digne on the cover. And good work there by Tyrone Mings, showing great composure. Well, I clearly got that wrong. You can clearly make another substitution. And this will be Leon Bailey's chance to shine here. He is rapid. He is explosive with his pace. And again, for Arsenal defenders, having to defend John Duran and a fresh John Duran and a fresh Leon Bailey when you're heading into the final 6 minutes plus stoppage time, as Jacob Ramsey's evening comes to an end. He's had a short game of football. Valuable for Aston Villa and Unai Emery to get Jacob Ramsey fit, firing, back in action. A warm embrace there as the Jamaican Leon Bailey enters the fray here. An explosive pocket player. Arteta has got the worry, bro. Carlo Ancelotti. Raised eyebrow. Again, Arsenal looking for the move on here. Trying to get forward. Just good work there, just trying to keep it, trying to pin Arsenal back. Declan Rice. Again, Villa back in their shape here at 4-4-2. Leon Bailey playing as that right winger. Morgan Rogers as the left. Tielemans playing just behind the centre forward. Kamara and Bogart, the 2 players in the pivot. Here's Timber. And keeping it short, heading into the final 5 minutes. It's not desperation time yet for Arsenal, but that will come very soon. Let's look at the statistic here of final passes in the final third. It's a bit of a useless statistic, but with 128 compared to 16, that is a huge gulf in terms of attacking talent. But just like that, Aston Villa attacking here. Here's the fresh Leon Bailey looking to make an impact off the bench, lays it off. It's Bogart with the effort. Oh, there's almost a spill there. And David Raya, Bogart off the bench, making the run towards the edge of the box. And it just shows you what a meaningless stat that is of passes into the final third. Arsenal having triple digits to Villa's 17 or 18 passes. But just like that, Aston Villa creating a good opportunity at the edge of the box. Here's Partey. Timber. Back to Partey. And I don't think Arsenal can affect the game from the bench now, with only Jorginho and Zinchenko really options for Arteta. Here's Trossard up against Cash. Declan Rice, heavy first touch, immediately swarmed away, but burst through a couple of challenges. Good control shown there. Somehow manufactures a bit of room, and that's a brilliant ball, and Havertz can't get his head to it. Merino from distance gets the deflection. They asked the question, but I think it will stand. And it is Merino who will celebrate. It's muted celebrations from the Arsenal player, but with 3 minutes to go, Merino has gotten the goal, which surely might be the winner. Arsenal kept the ball alive at the edge of the box. Kai Havertz winning that header, lays it off at the edge of the box. Merino with a shot on the ground. Oh, it's hit the hand of Kai Havertz, hasn't it? That goal will be disallowed. Surely disallowed. Even if it's accidental, no part of the hand can affect that. It's a clear deflection. Declan Rice did brilliantly there. Oh, it's surely a handball there from Kai Havertz. It's tucked into the body. It's hit his ham. It will be disallowed as we head towards the final 2 minutes. And I think that's why Merino was not celebrating, because maybe he saw the touch on the arm, and you can see the reaction there from Mikel Arteta. He thought his team stole it at the end. Havertz tried to claim that. He thought if he'd just look serious and act like it, Unai Emery's heart would have really sunk. Arsenal now have to go again into the final minute of normal time. They thought they'd done it. They have to do it again. They have to pick themselves up somehow. And Kai Havertz's handball, accidental or not, any touch with the arm in the box as an attacker, if that results in a goal, will be chalked off, regardless of where on the arm it's hit. Heading into the final 30 seconds. We talked about desperation moment for Arsenal. It wasn't there 5 minutes ago. It is now. On the right-hand side, Partey, Sterling. Thought about crossing. Delegates to Partey. Here's Rice. Trying to go around the outside there. Sterling decides to stay inside. Now making the run outside. Here's Rice. Gabriel with a wonderful pick out there. Oh, what a challenge. Merino, big save on the follow-up. Hits the post. Still not clear. Trossard, what a save again. And they managed to smuggle that away. Oh, incredible sequence. The Arsenal surely thought that they scored towards the end. What a pick out this was. The challenge from Kamara is outstanding. And they somehow cleared. Oh, what a save that is by Emi Martinez of Trossard. Trossard with 2 assists, nearly getting the winner. That comes through 2 bodies. Look what it means to the Aston Villa stand-in skipper Emi Martinez. Corner kick here. Here's Rice into the box. It's come off. I think Havertz or Merino, and Konza will get the foul on him and just releases all the pressure. Arteta would have felt that his team have done more than enough to get all 3 points, but it's what matters. On that top left-hand corner, Aston Villa doing a job here on Arsenal. Arsenal thought they had it after Mikel Merino's deflected effort, which ended up being off Kai Havertz's arm, was chalked off, and Leandro Trossard towards the end, getting a shot on target, brilliantly saved by Emi Martinez. John Duran with his first real involvement since coming on. That's how dominant Arsenal have been in terms of territory and possession. Havertz again with a tired touch, gets away from Konza. Here's Bogard. Rogers. Villa can break here. That's a clever pick out there by Morgan Rogers. On the left foot to John Duran. Up against Timber. Tielemans. Touch gets away from him. And Declan Rice does well. But Kamara recovers. This is exactly where Villa want the ball as we head towards the final 5 minutes of stoppage time. Yuri Tielemans from distance. And might have taken a nick off Raya. Surely a rake off David Raya there for a corner. Raya wants to get a quick move on here. I don't think they did spot the touch. Arsenal will get to recycle possession quickly here. It really is frantic football now. Here's Gabriel. Timber. On the right-hand side now. Thomas Partey. Sterling. Timber, this is not where Arsenal need the ball. They need it quicker forward. They're playing it between the two centre-halves. This will rile up the Arsenal crowd. Here's Odegaard picking the ball up so deep, driving into the box. Here's Kelly. Looking to scoop that forward. Merino lets it go. Partey will recover. Gives it to Sterling. Final 4 minutes. Declan Rice making the run. Ignored there by Sterling. Instead, it's Odegaard. Arsenal trying to be precise here. Aston Villa have got everybody behind the ball here. They'll be happy to take a point at this stage, having been down 2-0. Recovering in a 5-minute spell. Absolute pandemonium. Here's Declan Rice on the right-hand side. Again, this is slow, patient build-up. Raheem Sterling looking to inject a bit of pace. Just loses the ball and commits the foul there. And John Duran picks up the yellow card. Completely alleviates the pressure. That is poor play there by Raheem Sterling. The touches gets away from him. Then the foul there on John Duran. And it just kills all the momentum there and just gets Aston Villa up the pitch. Raheem Sterling, the only substitute used by Mikel Arteta as we head towards the final 3 minutes. An incredible game of football here. Martinelli gave them the lead. Kai Havertz made it 2-0. Tielemans with a brilliant header to make it 2-1. Soon after Neil, he made it 2-2 with his effort, hitting the base of the post. And Ollie Watkins in the 68th minute, making it 2-2 after Matty Cash's brilliant pick out on his weaker left. Found the England centre forward with that first time finish on his right foot, beating David Raya. Morgan Rogers is not happy whatsoever with Chris Kavanagh. Picks up a yellow card for dissent. As we look at the table here, as it stands, Arsenal 6 points behind league leaders Liverpool, with Liverpool having a game in hand. This is a massive, massive week as Aston Villa get into 7th position ahead of Manchester City, as City dropped to 8th position. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Here's Lewis Kelly. Oh, what a pass in front. Trossard. Oh, it's wide. Leandro Trossard has to score. Mikel Arteta on his knee. Cannot believe it. That should have been all 3 points. What a pass by Lewis Kelly. Trossard is just onside. He's made the run. It's on his left foot, and it is agonizingly wide as we head towards the final 90 seconds of this match. Emi Martinez just waves to the presence above. That was the moment. That was the moment. This is exactly where Arsenal do not want the ball, in Aston Villa territory, but the foul has been given, and it's the final minute of stoppage time here. Arsenal have tried their very best for the equalizer. They had 3 moments, 3 opportunities. for that winner. They haven't gotten either of them, and it's just been that kind of a phase for them as we head towards the final 30 seconds of what has been a quite remarkable game of Premier League football. Here's Merino on the right-hand side. Sterling. Good strength there, beats the challenge there and gets the foul. Luca Dina commits an unnecessary foul, gives Arsenal the opportunity from a set piece. It's not a corner, but it's corner adjacent. It's on the right-hand side. Surely the last chance of the match. Nicholas Jover, the set-piece coach, takes center stage with 97 minutes on the clock. Surely the last chance here for Arsenal to get the winner. It will be Martin Odegaard with the trusted left foot, the skipper, with a big moment here in the match and potentially the title race. Liverpool fans will be waiting for the full-time whistle to extend their lead at the top of the table. Odegaard with the free kick. Far post is absolutely packed here. Now the run has been made. Odegaard with the ball into the box. It's easy. It is straight into the hands of Emi Martinez. It's a disappointing set piece from the Arsenal skipper as the full-time whistle has been sounded at the Emirates Stadium. Yet another damaging drop points for Arteta and Arsenal. Kai Havertz thought that he gave Arsenal the cushion after Gabriel Martinelli opened the scoring. But in a crazy 8-minute spell, Aston Villa equalized first through Yuri Tielemans and then Ollie Watkins in the 68th minute to make it 2-2. Arsenal created 2 or 3 big opportunities towards the end to try and get the winner. Leandro Trossard with the best of it towards the end from near post after Lewis Kelly's pass, but his left-footed effort just wide. And it is Arsenal who dropped 2 valuable points in the title race here. It's full time at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 2.